Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we will be discussing the previous year questions of European classical literature. These are the most repeated questions with their model answers taken straight from past year papers. If you are watching from any other university, you can watch this as well. A lot of universities follow a very similar syllabus. So these questions and answers will help you regardless of where you are studying. I will not be reading out the entire answers, but they will be on your screen so that you can take a screenshot of the video. So now let us begin. Question number 1. Write a short note on the role of Tiresias in Antigone. Tiresias is the blind prophet who arrives late in the play but changes everything. He warns Creon that the gods are angry because Polynices' body is unburied, and he predicts Creon will lose someone from his own family as punishment. His blindness is symbolic. He can't see, yet he sees the truth better than Creon, who has eyes but is blind to justice. He is the trigger for the play's tragic ending. Question number 2. Discuss dramatic irony in Antigone. This is about the gap between what characters believe and what the audience already knows. Creon confidently claims he is saving the state, while the audience knows his rigidity will destroy his own family. His mockery of Tiresias is ironic because the audience knows the prophet is always right. Even his line that Antigone's tomb will be her wedding chamber becomes tragically true when Haemon dies embracing her there. Question number 3. Discuss the Choric Ode to Man in Antigone. This famous ode praises human achievement, sailing, farming, taming animals, inventing speech. But it has a twist. It warns that a man who ignores justice and the laws of the gods becomes an outcast from his city. The chorus sings this without knowing Antigone has just broken Creon's law out of duty, so the audience applies this warning directly to Creon himself. Question number 4. Discuss the roles of Myrrhine and Cainicius in Lysistrata. This is the play's most famous comic scene. Cainicius, desperate for his wife, comes begging her to return home. Myrrhine teases him, promising a bed, a pillow, and oil, then walks away, leaving him in comic agony. It's funny, but it also proves the women's sex strike actually works and shows real self-sacrifice on Myrrhine's part. Question number 5. Write a note on the oath in Lysistrata. This is a repeated question appearing in 2 to 3 different papers. The women swear a formal oath like a war treaty, but over a bowl of wine instead of sacrificial animal, and the content is deliberately obscene. Lysistrata dictates it. Calenus reluctantly repeats it, and this moment locks the women into their plan. It's the turning point after which there is no going back. Question number 6. Write a note on epic similes. These are long, detailed comparisons Homer uses to slow down the story at emotional high points. For example, Odysseus' relief at seeing land is compared to children rejoicing when their sick father recovers. These similes connect the fantastic world of gods and monsters to everyday human experience like farming and family life. Question number 7. Write a short note on Penelope. Penelope is Odysseus' clever and loyal wife. Her most famous trick is weaving a burial shroud by day and secretly undoing it by night to delay remarrying the suitors. At the end, she tests Odysseus by asking about their bed, which only the real Odysseus would know is built around a living tree. This proves she is his intellectual equal. Question number 8. Define catharsis and hamartia in Aristotle's Poetics. This is another repeated question appearing in 2 papers. Catharsis is the emotional release the audience feels after experiencing pity and fear through tragedy. Hamartia is the tragic hero's error of judgment, not villainy, just a flaw that causes their downfall. In Antigone, Creon's hamartia is his stubborn pride, and this leads directly to the catharsis the audience feels watching his fall. Now let's move to the long answer questions. Question 9. Does Creon's defeat by his wife and son prove his thought and action were unjust? Yes, Creon claims to protect the state over family, but ends up destroyed through his own family. Haemon dies trying to save Antigone and then kills himself. Eurydice curses Creon and takes her own life too. His public victory turns into private ruin, proving his rigid philosophy was flawed all along. Question number 10. Explain the difference between Creon and Antigone in the relation to life and death. Creon values life as survival within an ordered state. Death for him is just a political punishment. Antigone values loyalty to divine and family law more than her own life. She'd rather die honoring her brother than live having betrayed him. Ironically, Antigone gains a kind of immortality through her defiance, while Creon is left an empty shell, alive but destroyed. Question number 11. Critically analyze Odysseus' heroism. This is a repeated question across 2 or 3 papers. Unlike Achilles, Odysseus isn't defined by battle glory but by cleverness, patience, and endurance. His escape from the Cyclops shows wit over brute force, but Homer also shows the dark side. His pride in revealing his name to Cyclops brings years of extra suffering. His true heroism is shown in restoring his home and family, not in fighting wars. Question number 12. How does Lysistrata offer serious advice in comic form? Behind the sexual jokes is a real argument that war is funded by the treasury, so seizing it can stop the war. Lysistrata's wool carding speech is actually a serious model for good governance. The comedy makes it safe for Aristophanes to criticize an ongoing war in front of the very people responsible for it. Question number 13. How does Aristophanes subvert gender hierarchy in Lysistrata? Women take over the Acropolis, the center of male political power. Lysistrata out-argues the magistrate with better logic than he has. The old women even defeat the old men in a mock battle. But the play is only a temporary reversal. By the end, the women go back, so the change isn't permanent. Discuss the role of the chorus in Antigone using two odes. The chorus comments on the section and represents the voice of Thebes. The ode to man celebrates human intelligence but warns against ignoring divine law, foreshadowing Creon's error. The ode on Eros, sung after Haemon's exit, shows how love and passion are driving the tragedy forward, adding an emotional dimension beyond just political. Question number 15. What are the differences between tragedy and epic according to Aristotle? This question was repeated in all three papers, so please remember this one well. Tragedy is enacted live on stage. Epic is narrated by a single poet. Tragedy uses mixed meters with music and choral song. Epic uses one steady meter throughout. Tragedy is compressed into roughly one day. Like Antigone, epic spans years and multiple storylines, like the Odyssey. Aristotle believed tragedy's tighter unity actually makes it more emotionally powerful than epics. Question number 16. Discuss the depiction of women in Antigone and Lysistrata. Antigone stands up to a king using moral and religious conviction, and the play vindicates her in the end. Lysistrata shows women seizing real political power using clever arguments usually reserved for men. Tragedy treats female defiance as a serious ethical stance. Comedy treats it as a temporary, safe reversal of norms that gets undone by the play's end. And that wraps up our revision of the most important, most repeated questions from European classical literature. I hope this helped clear up Antigone, Lysistrata, Odyssey and Aristotle's Poetics for your exam. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and we'll see you again in the next one.